Hello, dear viewer. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we are going to talk about the ingredient they use in zero-sugar sodas to make it sweet as well. The ingredient is called aspartame, and its use does have some drawbacks. Aspartame is a sweetener. It gives food and drinks a sweet taste without the need for sugar. There are many reports about aspartame. It is said that it can cause cancer. This is because of a past study in which it seemed that rats given aspartame were more likely to develop brain tumors than rats not given aspartame. But what exactly? Aspartame is a sweetener that is about 200 times sweeter than sugar. Aspartame contains almost no calories. That is why it is used as a substitute for sugar in food and drinks. This way you taste a sweet taste, but you consume fewer calories. Aspartame is composed of substances that are present in the body and in the natural environment. However, highly processed in order of the equivalent sweetening properties to increase, which results in a non-natural composition. It has been given. Aspartame has been used as a sweetener in the US since 1970s and in Canada since 1980s. Since 2013, it has been approved for the European market by the European Food Safety Authority, EFSA. It is the most researched sweetener. When you think of sweeteners, you may quickly think of light soft drinks. This often contains sweeteners. But sweeteners such as aspartame are also used in other products. Dairy products, ice cream, chocolate, breakfast cereals, canned or glass sweet and sour fish, soups, fruit drinks, protein powders and sports drinks, soft drinks. You can read on the label of a product whether it contains aspartame. Aspartame is also called N951. It is also an E number, an addition during the making of food and drinks. Many people who watch their weight choose for light products with sweeteners as an alternative to products with a lot of sugar. The World Cancer Research Fund has seen that it is not clear whether artificially sweetened drinks can help prevent weight gain and obesity. The evidence is inconsistent. It is better not to get used to the sweet taste, but to opt for unsweetened drinks. Therefore, do not drink diet drinks too often. Choose water and unsweetened tea and coffee. Our body responds to aspartame in the same way as it does to sugar, producing insulin to transport the supposed sugars to the cells as fuel. However, aspartame confuses your body. When you eat aspartame, your brain gets a signal that sweet is coming in, while the known amount of calories is missing. As a result, your body will ask for even more sweet, resulting in an increased appetite, sweet addiction, and binge eating. In addition, you can suffer from digestive problems if you eat products with aspartame. When we ingest aspartame, it gives a sweet taste to our tongue. Our body then breaks down the sweetener into aspartic acid, phenylalanine, and methanol. This triggers all kinds of processes in our body. Methanol is toxic in large quantities, but even small amounts of methanol can adversely affect our health. Especially the free form of methanol is far from healthy. Free methanol can be formed when aspartame is heated above 30 degrees Celsius. Our body has a temperature of 37 degrees Celsius. This means that the aspartame in our body can be easily converted into free methanol. Free methanol breaks down in our body into the carcinogenic substance formaldehyde. Another carcinogenic substance can also be created in the same process. That has consequences for our health. Aspartic acid and phenylalanine are amino acids that occur in nature, only in a different composition than aspartame. Protein-rich food consists of only 5% of these amino acids. Aspartame contains no less than half of phenylalanine and 40% of aspartic acid. This composition has an adverse effect on our brain. Several researchers have found that this substance, phenylalanine, is associated with learning and behavioral problems. For example, in 2018, scientists found that aspartame can increase the level of phenylalanine and aspartic acid in the brain. This can inhibit the production and release of important neurotransmitters. Also, Aspartame acts as a stressor by increasing the stress hormone cortisol in our blood and causing our body to produce extra free radicals. High cortisol levels and excess free radicals can make the brain more vulnerable to oxidative stress, which can have a detrimental effect on our behavior and brain function. In addition to learning and behavioral problems, researchers found that aspartame can also lead to complaints such as headache, epilepsy, migraine, irritability, anxiety, depression, insomnia. A well-known side effect of aspartame is diarrhea. You can also experience flatulence and bloating after eating products with aspartame. The substance is toxic to your intestines and works against healthy intestinal function, as shown by research. But not only your intestines suffer from aspartame. Some people experience problems with their ears and vestibular system after eating it. Some people react to aspartame with dizziness, ringing in the ears, and high-frequency hearing loss. Researchers recommend discontinuing the use of aspartame with these complaints. There are even doctors who speak of aspartame disease, which can lead to shortness of breath and thyroid problems. Research shows that women who drink 2 glasses of soft drinks with aspartame as a sweetener every day after the menopause have a 30% higher risk of developing cardiovascular disease. And a Danish and Norwegian study has shown that aspartame may be associated with premature birth. In these countries, relatively much aspartame is used as a sweetener. According to the researchers, pregnant women should not take aspartame and other artificial sweeteners. They should also limit their sugar intake to prevent premature birth. Okay, now we know a lot more about the substance aspartame that is in all zero soft drinks. But is it carcinogenic or not? Let's get to the point. There are indications that aspartame can influence the development of brain tumors. In addition, men appear to have an increased risk of cancer if they use aspartame. This is shown by a study from 2013. According to the researchers, this is because men have large amounts of an enzyme in their bodies that converts aspartame into formaldehyde. There are strong indications that formaldehyde, which is formed from aspartame, influences the development of lymph node and blood cancer. These cancers are the same as those identified in previous animal studies of the effect of aspartame. Did you know that aspartame is banned in the Philippines? Aspartame is banned in schools in Canada, and aspartame is not allowed in Venezuela in various soft drinks such as Coca-Cola Zero. But also watch out for the light soft drinks, because both the light and zero variant contain aspartame, which serves as a substitute for sugar. But Diet Coke also contains E333, which is a calcium salt of citric acid. As a result, the light variant has a slightly different taste. But don't worry too much, because if you drink less than 14 cans of 33 liter per day, you are safe. Unless you have passed your menopause, are pregnant, or suffer from phenylketonuria. This was today's episode about aspartame and its negative side effects. Thank you for watching. If you find this video interesting, don't forget to share it with your friends and to like and subscribe. Do you want to see more interesting videos like this? Just hit the notification bell.